Hello, I'm Neon Geode, and welcome to my Fake Superflat series where I've stranded myself in a giant hole in my forever world where I'll be building up an entire civilization starting from nothing but dirt. If you're just joining now, you haven't missed too much. In the first episode, I tried to build myself a bit of a house and was really not able to protect it from creepers. I also talk about the challenge itself, so if you want to learn more about the challenge, go watch that video. But in the second episode, I built myself a roof to prevent phantoms from spawning in at night and a bit of a rudimentary mob grinder. Grinder's a bit slow. I don't have water and I don't have wood, and it's really hard to make an efficient farm without water or wood. In order to get first wood, then water. In order to get the wood, I am going to need to start trading with wandering traders. But how do I do that, you say? Well, only way up is to get a milk bucket from the wandering trader itself and then trade it back to the wandering trader from an emerald. So when the wandering trader gets kind of damaged by a mob, he goes invisible, and then once things are safe again, he starts drinking a milk bucket. And if you time it exactly correctly, then you're able to get the milk bucket if you kill him while he is drinking the bucket. But there is just a small percentage chance. So I may need to kill a whole bunch of wandering traders in order to actually get this milk bucket. And I have a slime coming up behind me. Yeah, so that's where we're at today. I also realized I built this mob farm partially within at least one, maybe two slime chunks, which was a bit of a mistake. So while I'm grinding for that, I realized I can also be grinding to lay out my slime chunks and figure out where those slime chunks are so that I can plan my builds around it. So the idea here is I want to watch for slimes spawning in, and then I'm going to go just with dirt and mark out where I saw the slimes spawn in. And then it's not going to be exact, but once I have saw a number of slimes spawn in roughly the same place, then I can I can just mark off that area. So I'm going to build a little wall around it, right? So I saw ones right here, like right about there, and another one right about there. It's going to run around. So I saw that one right about there or so. Again, this doesn't have to be exact. Yeah, unfortunately, this is going to be a bit of a grind. I have no idea how long this is going to take. I'm probably going to have to cut the video and do a bunch of off-camera grinding, but I'll make sure to show the important parts, and hopefully by the end of the video, I can show you getting that milk bucket. If not, I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to be doing in next week's video. I posted I guess, right, the YouTube algorithm, right, really doesn't love Let's Play series, so it's not really giving a lot of impressions of the series to people. So I posted a short to try to, advertise the fact that I was doing this video. I saw people in the comments saying, hey, just commenting one word like Java or Bedrock. This is a Bedrock world. I want to talk a bit about why do I actually play on Bedrock? It's a bit of an odd choice. I think most people you're gonna watch on YouTube are doing Java. Like that's the norm. especially that's what people usually play on PC. And I am playing on PC, not on mobile. Yeah, so like the very first time I played Minecraft was like way back early on. I played it for like a week straight in it might have been 2010, it might have been 2009, it might have been 2011. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know what version I was playing, if it was classic or inf dev or alpha or beta. Like that's kind of long lost to time. I just remember it was a really really hot week in August, like 90-degree Fahrenheit temperatures, and I didn't have air conditioning at the time. I was just like locked up playing Minecraft in a room for like a week straight, and I thought it was just like the coolest thing. And I was like, I have to set this down. Like I have stuff to do. Like this is going to be way too addicting if I actually keep doing this. So I set it aside. I at some point after the full release came out, I did buy the Java edition, but didn't really play it too much at that point in time. And then when I really got back, that's too far away to really tell where it spawned in, but when I really got back into the game was after the Nintendo Switch came out. So the Switch came out, and I bought Minecraft, not Bedrock, just the Switch edition, the console edition. Bought that, and that's where I got back into it. Was on the console edition on the Switch, and really, these slimes seem like they spawn in all the time, and now that I'm actually looking for them to spawn in, it seems like it's so slow. But yeah, I started playing again on Switch. Had a number of worlds that I started and played for a while, and then set it aside and came back and started a new world and did that a few times. Obviously watched different YouTubers and people like that, and saw other people playing it. But eventually, I ended up with an Xbox One, and obviously you get a bit of a better gameplay there. So I was playing Bedrock Edition on Xbox One. This world here that you see, well, you don't see the whole world. Like if you go back here, you might. Well, when I towered up over there, you could see it. There's a whole world out there that is my forever world. I've been playing this world for 5 years. I started an Xbox One, and yeah, there's tools to convert it to Java, but I just kept playing it when I brought it over to Windows and doing it on Bedrock. And obviously there are some benefits. I play on controller for reasons I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Why do I play on controller? But everything I've tried on Java feels pretty tacked on and just not as good as like first class baked in controller support like you have in Bedrock. There are like tools outside where you can remap your controller inputs to keyboard inputs, or there's mods you can install inside Java, but like none of them feel as good as playing with controller on Bedrock. And then just out of the box, you have better performance. Like it's written in a more low level language that gives you better performance than Java by default. Yeah, I know there's mods you can install in Java to make things better, but you get that better performance. You get the better render distances by default. You have like the fact that vibrant visuals are already on Bedrock. So there's a number of advantages, but ultimately, just with everything I said, it's just inertia. Like, this is what I'm used to playing. Like, I know the mechanics now. Like, there's just a number of weird small differences that I'd have to relearn now if I wanted to switch. Um, yeah, so with that, we'll kind of cut through the night. I'm going to go back, spend the night under my phantom roof here. Oh, I should have got here before this happened. So that's one advantage. It's not a bedrock floor because this is kind of a fake, kind of a fake stage I've set up here at like y=0, which is kind of the classic super flat height. So I filled this all in with obsidian, but it does mean I can just let that creeper explode. I need to get this lit up so that that doesn't keep happening. And actually, like I said, I built this in a slime chunk, and this is a pretty slow design for a mob grinder anyway. So once I have wood and once I have water, like this whole thing is probably going to be coming down anyway. And then I'll build a better design using like trapdoors and water streams and all that good stuff. But yeah, with that, like, I'm going to spend the night just slowly collecting some of these mob drops, and we'll regroup in the morning. All right, so we're back. It's morning. I am very, very slowly building up a stockpile of supplies here. Some mob drops, bones for bone meal will be great. Arrows once I have a bow. But one thing is I have leather from cows. I have strings from spiders. I can craft a bundle to help me with inventory management, and that's actually something I've never had a real reason to ever use a bundle for real, because I started this world 5 years ago, well before bundles were even in the game, and so I have a shulker farm. Like, I have no right there. Okay, I have no. And as much as I'm looking for slimes, I absolutely cannot miss the Wandering Trader. But I had no reason to ever use bundles in the game. Like, I had as many shulker boxes as I want. There's really no reason. But I can use that to help with inventory management here. Now, here's one of the places where keyboard and mouse honestly would be better. Like, I feel like the bundle's a bit awkward on controller. I've never really quite worked out like the mechanics of like, okay, now how do I just take the first item? Is there any way to like I know if I bring the mouse over here, I can like again, I have no idea how any of this works, especially on controller. But it will help at least keep my inventory manageable until I have wood. I wish I knew where you spawned in. See, that spider ledge, though, does obviously create a place for mobs to spawn in. Oh. Okay. Like, there's no way the zombie is doing that to me. Right. Yeah, so let me kind of connect the controller up. Why do I use the controller? And the reason why is it's just more ergonomic. Like, it's kind of weird topic to segue into, but wrist health. I have carpal tunnel, and controller helps a lot compared to a keyboard where you're kind of, keeping your fingers in a very cramped position to do the directional controls. Now, obviously, you could like remap the controls to something else. Maybe there's more, ergonomic ways to remap the keyboard, but then you have to learn it. And ultimately, like, I think I use like an Xbox controller on the PC, and they do a really good job of making that and keeping your wrists in more of an ergonomic position. So even if you don't use controller all of the time, like I'd still recommend like swap up controls, like use a controller some of the time just to make it easier on yourself. Especially with a mouse, like if you see you can't really get away from using a mouse in general, but don't stick with the crappy mouse that came with your computer. Like go out, buy a good ergonomic mouse. Now I personally use what's called like a vertical mouse, which if you've never heard of it, like search for it. It's takes like a little bit to get used to because it keeps your wrist in a different position. But it's a more natural position, kind of like a same position your hand is for like a handshake. So you're not contorting your hand to a unnatural position. You're not, gripping onto the mouse in a way that is hard on your hand. But definitely get some sort of good ergonomic mouse for your PC. And the other tip I have there, well, a couple other tips. One that I never really realized until my doctor recommended it was to get wrist braces and then sleep at night wearing wrist braces to keep your hands in a natural position. Like I never realized that I actually would like end up like curling up my hands and sleeping on them and really kind of waking up, sometimes with my hands being numb after sleep. And I really never realized how much of a role that played. Um, but the other thing I was going to mention is just like use of tools. So yeah, like in terms of like using a computer, like learn how to use keyboard shortcuts, like whatever programs you use to do, whether it's work in or hobbies or other stuff, gaming, whatever, learn keyboard shortcuts. Like keyboard's a lot easier on your hands than mouse, and the keyboard shortcuts can often like, allow you to do something that would, might take a bunch of different clicks to get what you're trying to do, and you can do it in one shortcut. So learn keyboard shortcuts. Learn how to use like some of the software I has like the ability to like find and replace in multiple places at once. So rather than clicking around and typing each time, I can like do it a faster way. Like but also like even outside of like computer work, like with hobbies, like make smart choices. The one that comes to mind for me is like woodworking. Like I wouldn't, I do a bit of woodworking on the side, and like I still need to go out and do this, but like some tools you can get away with kind of a cheaper version, and some tools you want to pick a better version. And so like something like a sander would be a good example. Like go out and get the version that has the best reviews that says that this is low vibration. Oh boy. Right, this is a tool that vibrates a lot. It's hard on your hands. Like get a low vibration good version of it. Like don't skip on that. I think something about like lawn work, like a lot of those tools can have vibration. So get gloves that kind of protect you against vibration. Like, do things, be smart about it to try to protect yourself. But to like randomly connect this to a third topic, and this is a really random connection, which is AI, which is a controversial topic. Hopefully, this isn't like too controversial a take here, but there's a lot of like downsides people point out to AI, like, oh, are they afraid it's going to take people's jobs or replace like creative work? But all those worries aside, you can use it as a really great accessibility tool. Like in terms of automating some of these very repetitive tasks. The one that just came to mind for me is the thumbnail for this video. The thumbnail is not AI generated. I used a site called textcraft.net to create the text for the logo in kind of a blocky style. I went into creative mode, just got some screenshots of the different mobs that are in the thumbnail, and I used paint.net as a simple Photoshop like tool to do editing and compile it manually. But then there's this kind of repetitive task, which is that for each video I want to put the episode number in the corner. So I have the I have the background of the thumbnail. I have a image that has all the 0 through 9 plus a number sign in it. I have that image, and then I have like an example thumbnail that I had for video 1. And I just handed that over to see if I can get these creepers to blow up the spider for me. Now that would be wonderful. Oh, get away. Oh, okay. Well, mission accomplished very, very poorly. Let's repair that mess and eat. So there's this like repetitive task where, okay, for each video, I want to create a new thumbnail. So I can open up my paint program. I can, do some manipulation with the mouse to like grab a number, put it here, grab a number, put it here, grab the number sign, put it here, save it, edit it. Like, it's not that much work. It's only going to take me a couple minutes, but you take a couple minutes and multiply it by 50 or more episodes, which I plan to do. I plan to keep this series going. It adds up to a couple hours. It adds up to just unnecessary strain on my wrists. Like, even if it's not that much, like, I have a lot of hobbies that I actually enjoy that use my hands and wrists. And like, obviously I need them for work, but like, I play Minecraft, I play other video games. I'd like to do more woodworking projects and to do some like gardening and cooking. I'd like to do a lot of stuff with my hands, and just every little bit of unnecessary strain adds up. There's no reason for me to be stubborn about it. Like, why not use AI to help myself with that repetitive task of generating the thumbnails? Anyway, with that little rant aside, I will we'll regroup again in the morning. Hopefully there will be a wandering trader, so we can see that process at least once before I start fast forwarding through everything. All right, so I feel very confident that there is a slime chunk right here. So I'll kind of show you what I had in mind, which is kind of marking this off. Now I have coordinates on, so I need to do some quick math to kind of divide by 16 to see where the chunk boundaries are. You may consider like putting coordinates on to be cheating. I don't. Like, it's a single player game, and whatever you do to help make the game more enjoyable for you is not cheating in that context, but yeah, maybe I'll talk some more about that topic sometime. Yeah, doing that math, I know that yeah, negative 448. Like I happen to know that that's a multiple of 16. That this is the edge of a chunk. But let me off screen here. Let me. Um, okay, so I know negative 448 is the border of a chunk, and if we go out 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's going to be another edge here, right? So the chunk is going to be here through there, but then I need to find the left and right borders. So let me work that out quickly. All right, so it worked out 1232 is the start of a chunk. Yeah, 1232 is going to be the start of a chunk. So 1231 is kind of the last of that. So it's like here, here, here. This wall I'm building is kind of out in the next chunk. And then it's something like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and like that. It's a little bit of math. You can use like chunk base, or there's the calculator, other tools to help you out with that. But like, yeah, all of these were inside that chunk. We have it, yeah, mathed out correctly, I think. So let me, I'm basically going to do, yeah, mark it out with a 1 high wall on the outside, and then I'm going to like dig down by 1 here, and then I'll have some more dirt to, I'll get some more dirt that way to build out 3 more layers to my mob grinder, and I will also have a bit of a painting wall here to keep any slimes that spawn here, they get kept in. So I'm going to go back, cut ahead here, unless I see a wandering trader spawn in. I should keep looking for, but I'm going to go ahead and mine this all out, and then we'll come back. Okay, so I have gotten myself into a bit of a pickle here. Ooh, I do want that witch. I do want that witch. Oh boy. Oh my god. My safe area was just like overrun by mobs, and now I'm being chased by a baby zombie. And I can't get in there safely. Oh my god. Go away. See, my house is safe. Another baby zombie. That's great. Yeah, let's see if I can survive this. You know, the problem when I don't survive is that the zombies come and pick up all my stuff, which is super annoying. Still being chased by a baby. And I think I just need to die and take that and run quickly and get my stuff. Especially that bundle. Especially the bundle. I got the bundle. Great. Okay. Now, hopefully some things have despawned and I can get back in safely. That would be... Oh my god, that's just overrun by everything. That is so bad. Oh boy. Oh no, now the zombies are going to pick up all my stuff. But at least they're trapped inside. How are you getting in above? Okay, so that was an absolute mess. I definitely need to build myself a little hole where I can come in and just fight off mobs if I need to. I definitely need light down here. So stick from the witch. That was why I was going after the witch. I did come out ahead here, though. I have 3 pieces of copper armor, including protection 2. I have a carrot. I need a carrot for breeding pigs. So once I have wood, I can get a hoe, I can create farmland, and now I can start farming carrots, and I will need that for breeding pigs because getting lightning to strike pigs is going to be the only way I can get gold in this world by turning them into zombified piglins. So I definitely came out ahead here. Let me... Okay, so this was going to be the wrong corner to do it in. My stairway in is over here. So if I have like a spot where I can just drop myself into, kind of like that, and like that, like that. So now I'll be able to kind of drop myself into that hole and just like be here like this and start going like that. Not going to help me against creepers. If there is a creeper, I'll just jump in and get the creeper to explode to kill some of the other mobs. So now I am just a tiny bit safer. I will go back to what I was doing, assuming there is no wandering trader around, which would be exactly what I want. Okay, so we have a wandering trader. I'm going to do this quick because it's almost night. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. All right, I got 6 hits. Hopefully he stays safe because he's out of render distance. So I got 6 hits. I'm going to remember that number, and now I'm going to regroup in the morning. It was much more calm than last time when I came back to like a whole pit full of zombies. So I think it's going to be important at the end of the day to spend the end of the day on the other side so that when I come back here, not much has had a chance to spawn in. Right, so there's a whole art to dealing with the Wandering Trader. If I was smart, I would have just run away as quickly as possible to get out of simulation distance from the Wandering Trader and dealt with it entirely in the morning. But they have 20 health. So the idea here is you hit the witch 18, not the witch, the Wandering Trader 18 times. The 19th, you get them hit by a mob. It could be a zombie or something, but in this case, like the Wandering Trader llamas can hit them with one of their, spitballs, and then, at that point, he'll drink to go invisible, and then after that, he'll see no enemies around, so he'll drink the milk bucket because everything looks clear. So I hope he's taken exactly 6 damage, and now we go 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 7. Did he take a damage there? Oh, I'm going to assume that's 17, 18. All right. I'm going to assume he took 1 damage because I can always punch him twice really quickly. All right, so let's get him hit again. Oh, let's get rid of the slime. All right, you over here. Get him. Ah. Oh, yeah, there he is. Where is he? Where is he? Okay, you could see his milk bucket out there. I don't know if I got the timing wrong or I just had, just a normal luck because it's a small percent of a drop. But that's how you do it. And now I'm going to need to do this many more times until we have the milk bucket. All right, so you can finally see what I was going for here. Just a too high wall on the inside to keep the slimes in. I needed the dirt, so I dug down, but some of these I might just do the too high wall on the outside and not dig down. Now, I mentioned cheating. Obviously, I could look at chunk base and just figure out where the slime chunks are that way, and it'll tell me exactly where to go. I'm doing it kind of the hard way by laying out and figuring out where the slimes are spawning. For me, that would be cheating to actually look up where the slime chunks are. But using a calculator to do some math to figure out multiples of 16 and putting coordinates on, like, it'd be really annoying without that. So it's just, you draw the line where it keeps the game fun for you, where you have a challenge, but it's not too tedious. All right, let me get back out. And yeah, it looks like it's almost night. And we'll keep grinding for that Wandering Trader. that was the flaw in that system we just found there, if there is a baby zombie. Oh boy. But at least I can go just deal with the baby zombie and I won't have to die too many more times here. He's probably going to put on my armor though. That's annoying. Yeah, you put on my armor. What a jerk. Now we have an armored up baby zombie. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Nothing. Right? Nothing. And we have a bow with 47 arrows, so the self-defense has just improved a bit. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. But Okay. And we're coming in. Oh my God. Come on, guys. How do you get through? Oh my God. Oh, wow. I got the milk bucket. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, I have a milk bucket in my inventory. That is extraordinarily lucky. Let me go despawn everything. That is so lucky. All right, well, I think at this point I have most of the spawn chunks marked out. There's one spawn chunk right in the center here. I'll probably finish that up off camera. I'm trying to do a little remodel of my farm. I built some extra layers, and that did not really improve the rate, so I'm going to try to change the layout. But the milk bucket changes everything here because now the next time a wandering trader spawns in, they'll have a chance of trading the milk bucket back for an emerald. So I was thinking, I had already gotten all the slime chunks here. I was thinking, hey, I'll do the milk bucket next video. Nope, got it now. Got it now. Uh, Thank you. And we'll see you in the next video.